Hi, everyone. How are you? So it is the autumn here in the northern hemisphere. It's September 26th, 2024, and I've decided to try doing some fall leaves. And this is a great time to use the Inktense pencils. I don't use them as often as I should because they're so bright and intense, but they're perfect for autumn leaves. So I'm going to be attempting to do some leaves here today. I have not tried it this way before, in that using my Inktense and using it on this cardstock paper, because this is Spring Hill White 80-pound vellum Bristol. And I copied a sheet I downloaded for free from giveasheet.com. See down there. So you can download this for free from their website. And it's not technically watercolor paper, and 80 pounds is not really water. You can't do a lot of watercolor necessarily. You can't do a really fancy watercolor artwork on this type of paper. It's going to be limited, but I want to try anyways my Inktense, since Inktense is not technically watercolor. It's an ink base, so it is much thicker and it will cover lines. Watercolor won't cover the dark lines, but Inktense will. So I want to see how that turns out. But again, it is a cardstock paper, not watercolor paper that I'm using. So that's why I'm not sure how it's going to turn out here, but we're going to try our best, or I'm going to try my best here to get some good results. All right, so I've got my Inktense pencils out, and I'm going to be using, I've pulled out my Sun Yellow, Shiraz, Burnt Orange, Hot Red, Sepia Ink, and Dark Chocolate. So I'm going to be using these colors first and see how it goes. Here we go. And I'm also going to be, of course, using my watercolor brushes here, and I have Princeton Velvet Touch. I really like the Princeton Velvet Touch these days. It's one of my favorite brands right now. So let me see. I kind of change, just like you change pencil brands, you like watercolor brushes. I like the heritage version too. So I'm going to start with this leaf. I'm going to go for a yellow and brown coloring on it. And I'm hoping, because it is Inktense and not watercolor, I'll get really vibrant colors. I mean, it goes on bright, but when you add water to it, it just blows up and glows and really shines. It's wonderful. I mean, this is Inktense was made for fall leaves, I think. It's just perfect. And like I said, you can cover with the Inktense. It will diminish the black lines quite a bit, from my experience using it in coloring books and whatnot. So we may get some more realistic looking leaves, hopefully, than maybe what you would get just using color pencil or watercolor with the Inktense. So I'm just going to go all over it with the Sun Yellow first. Okay, we have a nice cover there. So let me see. I will activate this. We'll see how bright it gets. And my water on the brush. Look how bright that gets. If I zoom. Additional layers on, but I could add more layers of yellow and really let's do that. I'm going to add another layer of the sun yellow to even cover up the black lines even more, just to see how covered up I can get them. Because if I really add a lot of Inktense pencil on the black line, I can really diminish it to the point where you can barely see them if you really want to do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to completely cover the leaves, but I think I could if I wanted to with the Inktense. Oops. All right, so I just put an outline there of the red. I'll be more careful here to sort of blend it in. Look at that. The only thing I don't like about fall is the temperatures going, getting cold out. Wish it could just stay warm like the summer. The summer went by very quickly, I feel. It's like so fast. The summer is over before it started, it seems. So this is hot red again. So the hot red with the sun yellow is making a very nice orangey tone, which I really like, but I want to add a little more red. I'm touching the tip of the pencil with the brush and just adding a little bit more deeper red around the edge. I do want it to blend. From red into the orange. Inktense never disappoints, I tell you. But you have to smooth it out quickly because it does dry very quickly, much quicker than watercolors for sure. So I put a lot on there. You have to, if you want to blend it, you got to blend it quick. So even if you don't, you can go back later and add some more on top of it. So it's not the end of the world if you have if you didn't blend it enough, if it's too sharp of a line, you can just go back over it with another layer and blend that out smoother. Like up here, I could add a little more, blend that in a little. Yeah, but no leaves. There's no right or wrong way to do leaves, right? You can't go wrong with it. Look at that. There's two Inktense pencils, and already you've got a fantastic. I think it looks really good. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but it's the Inktense pencils. You can't go wrong with these pencils. They are perfect for these leaves. I'm telling you. Look at that. Yeah. Inktense goes where watercolor fears to tread, right? Alrighty, get this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't mind me. I just enjoy using it. Oops. I went a little bit too over there. Let me pick that up. See, I got a line there now. I gotta be careful. Don't let that line stay. Because Inktense, once it dries, that's it. With Inktense, it's another thing. Like you can't lift it like watercolor. So you gotta make sure you um, work quick. But like I said, you can go over it again with other layers if you get a line. But yeah, you can't lift. You definitely can't lift it later. You can go over it and try fixing it a little bit, but at least with watercolor, you can go back and like sort of lighten it up with a lifting. But you're not going to be able to do that here. So I keep that in mind when you're using it. Once it's down, baby. Inktense doesn't mess around. But you can use it on fabric, I heard. I've never tried that, but you can use it on Inktense on anything. Look at that. Wow. I don't even know if I want to do any more with it. I mean, I could add some brown in there too, but I'm liking the way it is right now. I'm just going to make it a little darker. I'm going to touch the pencil with my brush there, and sort of add a little bit more in the end, brighten that up a little bit more. Get a little bit more pow or saturation. And these velvet tip brushes are really good. This is a number 8 I'm using. That's a very pointy. And if you can see there, the tip is a very sharp tip on it. So very easy to get these nooks and crannies there. Yeah, this may just be it for this leaf. I'm just going to use the hot red with the sun yellow. It did blend nicely together to give me an orange blend in between. I think I'm going to stop there with this leaf. It's going to be my first one done. Guys, I'm going to go for a different look for this one, maybe not so bright. I'm going to be using green colors, hooker's green, yeah, for a lighter green, and then leaf green for the darker green, then mustard for a sort of brownish yellow, and then sepia ink for the dark tones. If I use all that, we'll see what I use here. I'm going to start with the lighter green. This is going to be more green and brown leaf. We'll see how this one turns out. So I'm applying with just an even light pressure and not worrying about being too neat about it, since we are going to dissolve it all with water. And then I think I will put the darker leaf green on the inside. And maybe give it some 3D look to it. All right, so that was hooker's green. I've got out the leaf green now, a slightly darker, browner green. I'm going to use that on the inside here. Blend that into the hooker green. This may cover the lines a little bit more. I don't know. The yellow didn't do it quite so much, but like I said, if you add enough layers of Inktense, you can do that. I mean, I'm not, necessarily trying that in this video, but if it happens, it happens. See how many layers I end up. I mean, again, I'm using cardstock, not watercolor paper, so that's going to limit how many layers I can put on anyways. Now I've got the mustard yellowy color. I'm going to brownish yellow color. I'm going to put that on the ends. There's a way, you could do splotches throughout. Like I gotta have, maybe I'll just do, all right, I'll do the top part here yellowy, the mustard yellow. I'll have more of that up here. And maybe towards the bottom, I will put the sepia ink. I got the brownish, I'll make it browner down here. The leaf will be, yeah, so let's see how that turns out. Let's see. Always a surprise. Let's see. All right, so I activated. I got water on my. Gosh, it doesn't look right in my Oh, this looks. Hold on, let me fix the camera. There we go. That's what it looks like. I apologize about that. I forgot that I had the green screen going on there. My apologies. But anyways, this is the hooker's green with the leaf green in the middle, and we have the sepia brown on the bottom and the mustard yellow on top. Yeah, I'm not happy right now with how this looks. And I'm gonna add more layers on this for sure. Yeah, so nice and dry. There we go. Let's try again. I'm gonna put another layer on here for sure. Here, get this a little brighter. Now I'm gonna put the hooker's green on top of the sepia brown here because this brown is just a little too brown for me. I want it to be a greener brown. And then I'm gonna take the leaf green. I'll use the brown on the stem here, make that nice and dark. And then back with the hooker's green, I'm gonna light pressure because otherwise it can be difficult to get the lines dissolved if it's too heavy. So you want to make it nice and as light as possible. Still getting the color down. I get the leaf green, so I'm gonna go from between the brown and the hooker's green. I'm using the leaf green here again in the middle. Another layer of that leaf green in the middle. Some shading in there a little bit. Okay, back with the hooker's green. I want to get that all the way to the ends. All right. And then the mustard yellow. I'll add more mustard yellow on this. Add a little bit up here in the ends. Yeah, it looks, I think that, oh, okay, let's see how it looks. Now I'm going to activate it with the water. See what happens. I'm going to get my mustard. Mustard pencil, when you look at the tip, it looks kind of green. If you just look at the tips of the pencils, it can be deceiving. I'm gonna put some mustard on there and sort of add it on the top a little more. Get it really vibrant. Yeah. Those colors pop in. The hooker's green is so pretty. It's such a pretty bright, healthy looking green leaf. At least where the hooker's green is. Hooker's green is just a great all around color for leaves, as well as sap green. I just felt sap green would have been too. I don't think I have a sap green. Do I have a sap green? No. I have a spring green. They don't have sap green in the Inktense. That name. They have a field green, which is very bluish green, but felt the hookers and the leaf green were more fall looking or autumn looking to me. But hey, experiment with all of them, of course. You can't go wrong with leaves. The great part about painting leaves, you just can't go wrong. There's no wrong way to do a leaf. You can do whatever you want. Pretty much. Hey, look at that. I love these Inktense pencils. Aren't they fantastic for fall leaves? I'll be doing a lot more leaves. These are fun. Let me dry it up, see how it looks. Dried. There you have it, all dried. All dried. So there are two examples of fall leaves with Inktense pencils, and I'm sure I will be doing more. This is a lot of fun, and you just can't go wrong. And they're just Inktense makes beautiful fall leaves, autumn leaves. Look at that. Well, that's what I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Break out those Inktense pencils and have some fun. Take care. Bye bye.